Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform. In the squadron, they called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Well, it feels right. It feels about time. It feels like this needed to be done a very long time ago. 1979, 1980, 1981. I was in fourth grade when they took our guys hostage. It was crazy. It was just unbelievable. They did it. They kept them for a year. And what did we do? You know, we never hit them militarily since. Yes, we did that thing in the middle of the night for their nuclear, but we never really pounded them into oblivion. We never really, brought it right to the Ayatollah and his people and his minions and the rest. The Revolutionary Republican Guard, all those maniacs over there. We never truly retaliated until, well, it's happening right now. And we got all kinds of different aircraft, bombs, missile systems, drones. They used to say that, well, you can't really win a war unless you've got boots on the ground. Sooner or later, you got to go. I don't think that's true anymore. I think that's been disproven. Well, we don't know 100% yet, but these things are so bloody accurate, and you can fly an explosive right into somebody's door. They took out the presidential, not the palace, but the office where Khamenei worked, the supreme leader Khamenei. Do you know the difference? We had Khomeini from 1979 to 1989, Khomeini, and then we had Khamenei. And Khamenei is now dead. It just happened. So there were two guys. Khamenei was Khomeiни's main man. He picked him for that job. Now he's gone. Look, now that it's happened, it's like, well, why didn't we do this a long time ago? What's the objective? What do you mean what the objective is? Well, number one, we got to punish them for not abandoning their nuclear and exporting terrorism all over the world. We're going to degrade their ballistic missile capability back to when this is done. They'll be lucky if they have any bottle rockets left over. We're going to do that. And we are going to make sure that they don't export terror anymore. And those are pretty achievable objectives. And I think we're going to get them back at the negotiating table. There's one guy who's still alive, a senior member of the Iranian government. They did not get around to killing, and I think they didn't kill him on purpose. And that's what's his name again? The senior foreign minister. I saw him yesterday on the George Stephanopoulos show. He was, it was just like, yeah, he's still alive. What's wrong with this picture? I think that they said, okay, we're going to make it, on Saturday night, you may want to not meet with everybody else. You may not want to go out that night. The one who's been meeting with Witkoff and the rest. So how does it feel? Do you remember those hostages being taken? Do you remember Ronald Reagan really didn't hit them back because they surrendered the hostages basically the moment he became president? Remember the bastardized rescue mission? They dragged our people all over the country. They dragged them. They dragged our pilots. They put them on public display right outside the embassy. Since then, the Beirut Marine Barracks, October 7th, there would have been no October 7th without Iranian backing, Iranian involvement. So I think it was great. I think it's necessary. I think we are totally kicking ass. Yes, I know. I've heard about it. I know there was a friendly fire, and I don't buy that thing about the girls' school. Oh, they hit a girls' school. This is what every authoritarian regime says the moment the bombs start flying. You hit our school. You hit our milk factory. They always say it, and it's almost always a lie. I'm not believing it. That's what these people do. They lie. State-run television, I'm curious if that's still on. It was on Saturday night. I was watching them. They were having a big funeral service for Khamenei. Khamenei, not to be confused with Khomeini. Here's President Trump announcing that Khamenei is dead. Cut 3.
Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems. Just now it was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building, all in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries.
Well, he's got that right. And you know who's grieving about all this? Mamdani. He doesn't like this one bit. Mamdani, the mayor. And this man better, and his police commissioner too. They have not lived up to their responsibilities. I don't want to name which ones because I don't want to advertise anything being vulnerable, but I saw a major synagogue yesterday with no police protection, no added police protection. That's kind of a given. That's a given. And what about Saturday? They still have programs on Sunday. You got to have the cops outside. That's a given. And he didn't do it. And this Jessica Tisch, the commissioner, right, defender of the Jews. No, she's a defender of her own ambition. I don't think she cares about anything other than, being mayor someday and having her friends impressed with her unique job. Cut 4, please. I want to repeat that. There are major Jewish institutions in New York City that are conspicuously Jewish, right? That people know are Jewish. It brings people who are Jewish into their massive doors, and they come, and they celebrate, and they have community programs. And ordinarily, quite frankly, any weekend day under Mayor Adams, even de Blasio, Bloomberg, obviously, they'd have extra police presence during a time like this, and they did not. There are no cops there. Because Zoran Mamdani does not actually respect Jews, and he doesn't think we need any special protection. When, oh, by the way, this might be a time that, they might hit back. The terror cells that are undoubtedly in America, right? Because we let everybody in. Cut 4, please. Cut 4.
These military strikes by the United States and Israel mark a catastrophic escalation in an illegal act of war, of aggression. Bombing cities, killing civilians, opening up a new theater of war. Americans do not want this. Americans do not want another war in pursuit of regime change. We want an answer to the affordability crisis. We want peace. Now, I may be a young mayor, but I am old enough to remember the devastating consequences of our country's pursuit of regime change in this same region not that many years ago. Now, my focus is on keeping New Yorkers safe. I've been in close contact with our police commissioner and emergency management officials. We are.
And what are you talking about? This is how I'm in close contact. Close contact. And then what? Just kind of, we're in touch. We text each other? What do you text about? I don't want to see any special protection for Jewish institutions in New York City. Is that what you texted about? Because that's what I saw. No special protection. I'd like to know. Next, please. Keep going.
Military strikes by the United States and Israel mark a catastrophic escalation in an illegal act of war, of aggression. Bombing cities, killing civilians, opening up a new theater of war. Americans do not want this. Americans do not want another war in pursuit of regime change. We want an answer to the affordability crisis. We want peace. Now, I may be a young mayor, but I am old enough to remember the devastating consequences of our country's pursuit of regime change in this same region not that many years ago. Now, my focus is on keeping New Yorkers safe. I've been in close contact with our police commissioner and emergency management officials. We are increasing agency coordination as well as patrols of sensitive locations out of an abundance of caution. And additionally, I want to speak directly to Iranian New Yorkers. You are a part of the fabric of this city. You are our students, our artists, our small business owners, our neighbors, our community leaders. You will be safe here.
You will be safe here. Sensitive locations. Doesn't say what that is. Synagogues. I mean, what about a message for Jewish people? They're under attack right now. Israel. People are dying in Israel. Again. Hey, okay, what about your Muslim brothers and sisters in places like Oman, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, places that are being hit by Iran right now? Son of a bitch, you know. This is what I expected, though. This is what I expected. Him. This is how he operates. Couple of things here. I'm going to go through all the numbers. How many missions? I think we're almost approaching 2,000 missions. And what is a sortie? You're going to hear a sortie. How many sorties have we flown? Sortie. SORTIE. That means basically a plane takes off, conducts its mission. Sometimes it's dropping a bomb. Sometimes it's conveying an electromagnetic pulse wave. It could be a lot of different things, but it takes off, does its thing, and lands. One plane, one takeoff, one landing. That is a sortie. And it's not just airplanes, of course. It's missiles from the land, from the sea, especially those Tomahawk missiles. We have aircraft from the aircraft carriers. We got F-18s. We've got F-35s. We have B-2 stealth bombers. We got F-15 Eagles. In every war, something bad will happen. Anytime there's conflict, anytime there's combat operations, bad things are going to happen, including friendly fire. So 3 F-15s were shot down by Kuwait, by our own side. They're kind of on our side in this thing. We have a major military base in Kuwait. They're firing at Kuwait, by the way, Iran. And look at how they reveal themselves all over again. What are they shooting at? They're shooting at hotels. They're shooting at airports. They're shooting this is what they do. They're terrorists. They're not shooting at hardened military targets, although they did try to lob a bomb or two, a missile or two at the big base in Bahrain. But they hit a hotel, the Jumeirah Beach Palm, I think, in UAE, a place I've been, by the way. That hotel specifically, it was one of the nicest hotels I've ever been to in my life. I've actually spent plenty of time in Kuwait. How long was I there? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sleeping in a nice tent. That's where we lost our guys. 3 U.S. service members were killed in base housing in Kuwait. And I think there's a 4th as well. This is going to happen. You'll be hearing a lot about the girls' school. I do not believe that happened. And one thing they are leaving out, even if it did happen, and these things do happen, but it's like it was almost textbook. You know, they hit a girls' school. They hit a baby milk factory. They hit an infant trauma center. They always say that. Saddam Hussein, all the bad guys. That's what they always rip out. Let's see. You know who I want to hear from? In a moment like this, our good friend, Mark Levin. Mark Levin, nobody knows this issue, Israel, Iran, better than Mark. And he's very close to President Trump. He actually said about a week ago that he thinks that the president has already made up his mind and that this was going to happen. Nobody more credible, nobody more expert, in my opinion. And for those who are saying, well, he should have made the case. He should have made the case at the State of the Union. He's been the case is made. We all understand this. We all remember. And that's why it feels like finally there's been an answer to our question, an answer to something that was outstanding for a very long time. Things are being resolved. Things are the payment, the bill is due, and I am totally comfortable with it. Not everybody is, but I notice it's falling pretty much along party lines, very much along party lines. A couple of high-level detractors on the Republican side. I think Rand Paul, Massey, people like that. Here's Tom Cotton, just referenced by the great one, Mark Levin. Tom Cotton is one of the greats in the Senate. He's got ability, wisdom. He actually was an Army officer, infantry officer, could have become an Army lawyer, which is significantly easier. But he became an infantry officer, even after Harvard and all that stuff. Well done, Tom. I wouldn't expect anything less. How could it be on Twitter? I didn't even think twice. At Twitter, everybody runs it. They all run it on TV. Just why not put it out that way? It's fine. It's a new. Should have put it on CBS. All right. So there's grumbling. As far as a declaration of war, when the last time America declared war, formally declared war, was after Pearl Harbor. It's the last time Congress actually declared war and the president signed it. It's we go to combat, we go to war, we don't declare it. It says in the Constitution that the president is the commander in chief. This has been understood now for decades. Republican and Democrats alike that this is within the president's power and purview. And oh, by the way, if they do screw around with the War Powers Act, right, if they try to vote this down, it can be vetoed, right? And then to override that, you would need 2/3. So this is legal. This is solid. And this is good. We'll be right back.
Greg Kelly.
Let's go, Brandon.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network. Greg Kelly. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
We'll be right back. Hello. So I'm looking at Tel Aviv, a live look at Tel Aviv, which has been hit. But quite frankly, it looks like it's a thriving city. All the lights are on. I never would have thought anything was amiss. A number of people have been killed throughout Israel. President Trump just spoke at the White House. A bunch of, not too many, getting the Medal of Honor. One living, two posthumous. Beautiful ceremony there. And he spoke very briefly about it. But Iran can never get a nuclear weapon. And given, their mindset and the way they are, absolutely, you can't have these people with a nuclear weapon. It's interesting that Iran has a navy. Well, they had a navy. I must say, when I first found out that they had submarines, it just didn't seem like compatible with Iran for some reason. I don't know. They have submarines. Yeah, they do. At this point, I think all they have left is a dinghy. They'll be lucky if they have a dinghy. We're hearing that whoever the hell is in charge of Iran right now, and power it's kind of up in the air. They're reaching out to President Trump. They want to talk, right? Something tells me when they come back to the negotiating table, they might be a little bit more reasonable this time around. They let the foreign minister live, and that is the guy who's been talking to Jared Kushner, and he's been talking to, Steve Witkoff and the rest. And he was playing games. They never thought this was happen. They were walking around. Hey, we've been doing this for a long time. We've been tweaking the West since 1979, and we've never had to really deal with anything significant. We never had to, including Operation Midnight Hammer. The B-2 bombers, they were hitting little facilities out in the desert, Natanz and whatnot. You could say, well, maybe they didn't. I heard at the time, they actually weren't effective. That may have been a message put out by the Trump administration, come to think of it, right, to give us license to go back in and to shut up the fake news when they say, we could say, the fake news, it was leaked to you that wasn't effective. I don't know if that's part of the calculus or not. They went right back to building a nuclear weapon. Can most people find Iran on a map? Short answer is no, but we ought to, because we've been looking at that region long enough. Iran is right between Afghanistan and Iraq. Right between Afghanistan and Iraq. Now, for my little girls, I got to talk to them about these things. This is the first kind of, bombs are flying in their lifetime where it feels like this is kind of war-like. This is kind of war. Shall we? Yeah. This is where I'm explaining it to my little baby girl, Annalise. Okay, this is the first baby clip, if you don't mind. And I just love this little conversation. She understands kind of what's going on, and she doesn't like it, but it's necessary. All right, go ahead if you don't mind, please.
Shoot us?
What's that?
Is it gonna shoot us?
Is what going to shoot us?
The bullets that are coming.
No, they're not going to hit us.
Why?
Because they're far away.
Oh, is it in the Middle East?
It's in the Middle East. Yes, very good.
But why is there's a Middle East here, and why is it in Australia?
No, it's not in Australia.
Oh, I know it is in Israel.
Closer, yeah.
Melbourne.
No, Israel.
That's where my Nana lives.
Right.
I can't even hear it.
She can't even hear it. Oh, that's not that she wanted to go back to TV. So it's interesting, you know. Are the bullets going to hit us? And her grandmother on my mother's side spends a lot of time in Israel, like 4 or 5 months a year. And she's not there right now, thankfully. All right, so this is the younger one. This is little Madeline. I'm trying to explain to her what a war is. See what her thoughts are. Go ahead, please. But right now there is a war going on.
But you're not going to work right now.
No, I'm not going to work for now. But there's a war going on with another country.
Yeah.
Do you know what a war is?
No.
What do you think a war is?
Nothing. Just Daddy.
Aww. Well, what happens when people go to war? Do you know what that means?
Nothing.
Yeah. Maybe I should be falling all over myself to tell her about war. At 4, right? What is war? Nothing. Oh, wow. So there is also something kind of very fitting that President Trump would be the guy to pull the trigger on this, right? To literally pull the trigger. So you've seen this interview with him, probably little clips of it. It's fascinating. With Rona Barrett. It's his first national interview. And it's a very thoughtful conversation he has. And she asks great questions. And, you know, what's wrong with this country? Would you want to be president? Things like that. I thought that he might have spoken about Iran because we were in the middle of the hostage crisis back then, 1980. And he did. It comes up. It's interesting. I think that might be before the rescue mission, the failed rescue mission. Right, because they're not mentioning that, and we needed to go in bigger and faster and harder. We ultimately did have a rescue mission, and it blew up. It blew up. One plane hit another, and it was just an awful day for America. So I hear, you know, is it regime change? Regime change. Hey, one of the things, yeah, I can't stand that we went to war in Iraq. I knew it was unnecessary. I also can't stand that we went to war in Afghanistan as late as we did. Been through this before. We gave Osama bin Laden a 6-week head start. We should have been pounding them that very night. I also didn't understand why the hell we cared, quite frankly, what the hell happened to Afghanistan. Right? We just needed to get the bad guys and then move on, not create a new whatever, because some people are just not cut out to have whatever. They're very primitive people, and they like their primitive ways. Have you ever seen I've been to Afghanistan. I mean, they have these little huts. The huts, literally, the huts. The architecture of Afghanistan, the little spot I was in, reminded me of the architecture that you see in Planet of the Apes. Those little adobe kind of mud huts or whatever they were. That's it's just unbelievably. It's like 1,000 years ago. Why the hell did we stay there and try to teach them things? I don't know, because they didn't learn. And it's back to, so this is not about regime change. However, I want to say this. Just because I didn't like the war in Iraq and just because I thought the war in Afghanistan was all screwed up doesn't mean I don't think we should possibly go to war. It's one of the reasons why I thought about running for Congress actually about 10 years ago, maybe longer, 20 years ago. I was so fed up with Iraq and I thought, well, maybe I could prevent another dumb war like this or I could support a war that we needed, and too many of our stupid, silly lawmakers, right? They're only looking at, fundraising and re-election, and now they're looking at, what are they looking at? Social media and stuff like that. What is the mob saying? If people are in the business of wanting to be liked, that's how they roll. They just want to be liked. Me, I don't care so much about that, strangely enough. And it's an advantage. Lindsey Graham has been, forget about Lindsey, but who is going to be ultimately leading Iran, it doesn't really matter to me. It's probably not going to be this guy, Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. He's the Shah's son, the Shah of Iran. And I think that they've been telling their country for a long time that the Shah of Iran was no good. And that's why I don't think they want this guy. I don't think he has any real support on the ground, but he's telling everybody on our side that he's the guy and he wants to run Iran again. All right. This guy's getting ahead of himself. I don't think he's the guy. He's not the guy. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, being the Shah's son, I don't think that works for him too much. It's really wild that Iran struck out at all these Arab countries. Qatar, UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain. Now, we have military presence in those countries, but so do regular people. And regular people are dying. That was a huge mistake. People are looking at the Straits of Hormuz. Have you ever seen that on a map? It's that little, I'm looking at it right now. It's that little area. It's very, very small. It's the entryway into the Persian Gulf. And it's a bit vulnerable. It's UAE on one side and Saudi Arabia on one side and Iran on the other. It's like it's almost as small as a canal. And if you close that off, you're in trouble. So that's a hot spot. Iran may try to mess with that, but I think that they are running out of options very, very quickly. And we're bombing like crazy all over the place. We also have a huge cyber thing that's going on. Have you seen the big displays of support? Iranian people all over the world love this. Love this. So I feel good about it. And I don't think this is going to take all that long. Could be wrong. Anything can happen in war. Anything could happen. And there's stuff I don't know. There's stuff we don't know. Back here in New York City, I am incensed that once again, Mamdani, his true colors, doesn't support Jewish people. Will protect key installations in New York. Well, what does that mean? You know what happens after something like this, right? People want to kill Jewish people. They want to attack Jewish people. Israel has a huge role, our ally. They are doing this with us. Not the UK, not Germany, right? Israel. And Jewish installations like synagogues need to be protected. I saw one yesterday, no cop outside. I couldn't believe my eyes. And Jessica Tisch, wherever the hell you are, right? There's more to this than whether or not you get along with him. Are you going to put up with this? When are you going to do the right thing? Huh? And walk out. Otherwise, I mean, what's your claim to fame? How are you going to be governor or mayor someday? I did a great job under de Blasio. I did a great job under Adams. You're doing a great job now. Right there. That renders you unelectable for anything. And you don't deserve the job you're in right now. But you do deserve to walk out. You really should. Must. No police cars in front of synagogues. That is basic security 101. This man hates Jewish people. You're going to do that? Who's going to rebuke him? Anyway, give me a moment, please. God bless our troops.
Greg Kelly on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Hey, we're back. 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222. Hey, another reason that this thing seems kind of under control and not totally, crazy. All the cable news are doing commercial breaks. Have you noticed that? So, it's not like 2003 when we invaded Iraq. It's not like the Gulf War. It's not like that. It's much more manageable. It's much, I don't know. Let's go through the, what do we have here? What systems? Does anybody know about these systems? By that, I mean weapons. I know about 3 or 4 of them, but there are a hell of a lot more than that. Let's see here. We've got E2. Oh, there's the B2 and the B1 bomber. They're involved. I'm seeing all these cool videos of targets being taken out. That's pretty cool, too. As of 7:30 in the morning, March 2nd, 4 U.S. service members have been killed in action. The 4th service member, who was seriously wounded during Iran's initial attacks, eventually succumbed to their injuries. Major combat operations continue, and our response effort is ongoing. The identities of the fallen are being withheld until 24 hours after next of kin notification. Yeah, that's a big waiting game, right? And this was really wild. The F-15s that got shot down. 3 U.S. F-15s involved in friendly fire incident in Kuwait. Pilots are safe. At 11:03 p.m., March 1st, 3 U.S. F-15 Strike Eagles flying in support of Operation Epic Fury went down over Kuwait due to an apparent friendly fire incident. Friendly fire, part of war. As long as we got guys at war, there will be friendly fire and there will be collateral damage. During active combat, that included attacks from Iranian aircraft, ballistic missiles, and drones. The U.S. Air Force fighter jets were mistakenly shot down by Kuwait air defenses. All 6 crew ejected safely. Each airplane, F-15, has 2 guys, a WISO, a weapons officer, and a pilot. They have been safely recovered. That's pretty wild, actually. That's really wild. They shot down 3 airplanes, and all the guys got out. Kuwait has acknowledged the incident, and we are grateful for the efforts of the Kuwaiti Defense Forces and their support in this ongoing operation. The cause of the incident is under investigation. Additional information will be released as it becomes available. These things, it's a fact of life. Now I'm looking at the video of these things coming down. Oh man, you got a F-15 just tumbling out of the sky on fire. Oh, and a pilot lands right in front of these dudes. How cool is that? And he's okay. He's okay. He stands right up. You know, I ejected from an airplane myself. It is not, it's not a fun thing to do. It is like the wildest roller coaster ride you can ever conceive times about 1,000. That's what ejecting from a plane is like. It's like a little ride on a rocket ship, right? It's just, and that's what happened. That's what happens when you eject. Let's see here. Mamdani, CNN is being forced to report on the massive support in the streets in Los Angeles and beyond. Yeah, there is a lot out there.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our country has to offer, especially health care. Across every state, every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.